Okay, let's start with something that might sound a bit harsh at first, but stick with us. The single most liberating truth, maybe. It's this. Nobody is coming to save you.
Hmm. That hits hard, but it's not meant to be dark, is it? It's actually the first step towards finding your own power, towards real liberation.
Exactly. Welcome, everyone, to the Deep Dive.
Today, we're digging into this idea of self-mastery. We've looked at some really powerful perspectives on it, and the mission really is to explore this, well, slightly uncomfortable philosophy.
Right, the idea that real transformation doesn't happen when things are easy or when everyone's cheering you on.
No, it happens in the tough stuff. Pain, isolation, radical accountability. That's where the change actually takes root.
So that shift in perspective,
Yeah.
it happens when you finally realize that waiting for someone else, waiting for rescue or direction or even just a push, it's a fantasy.
Yeah. No one's going to magically appear and say, hey, turn off the TV or, go exercise now.
Or sit down and draft that business plan for you. It's all on you. The weight, yes, but also the reward. It rests entirely on your shoulders.
And that's often the moment of reckoning, isn't it? When you, say, leave home or finish school, that structured support vanishes.
And you have that thought for maybe the first time, wow, I am actually in this alone.
Exactly. And you realize, okay, I have to be the parent now. I have to be the coach, the mentor, the one making myself do the things I don't want to do.
Because if you don't.
You just drift. Simple as that.
And facing that responsibility, that's what forces you into what some call the isolation chamber, where the real work starts.
Yes, let's unpack that. The dark room metaphor. It's the space you find yourself in when you strip away all the external stuff, the noise, the validation from others.
Like when your back's truly against the wall.
Right. Maybe you've lost money, failed at something publicly, hit a real low point. Suddenly, it's just you, staring back at yourself in the mirror, metaphorically speaking.
And the challenge isn't just getting through it, is it? It's about deciding, okay, who am I going to be when I walk into this room?
Precisely. You're not just patching up the old you. You're essentially tasked with creating a whole new human being.
Wow. That's a heavy task.
It is. And that's why solitude becomes so critical. It's described as the best medicine for finding yourself, especially after those big setbacks.
When the first reaction is always to blame someone else,
Yeah.
right? The coach, the market, the boss.
Everyone but yourself. Solitude forces you to cut through that noise and actually confront where the responsibility lies, with you.
Okay, but let's be real. Most people seem terrified of being alone. The minute there's downtime, out comes the phone, the TV, anything to fill the silence. Why is that?
Because, honestly, they're terrified of themselves, of their own company, of the thoughts that come up when there's no distraction.
The internal critic gets louder. Or maybe the internal truth teller.
Exactly. That lack of external noise lets the internal stuff surface. And that fear pushes people into, well, often toxic routines or groups, things that just keep them stuck, drag them down further.
So you almost have to embrace that loneliness.
Yeah.
Except that if you're trying to do something exceptional, you're probably going to be an exception, less understood.
That seems to be the path, yeah. It requires making some really hard trade-off to protect that solitude, that focus. Which brings us to this idea of the elimination of waste.
Okay, what does that mean? It's not just working faster.
No, not at all. It's about identifying what truly matters, your main goal, and then ruthlessly deleting everything else. Every distraction, every habit, every commitment that isn't serving that one thing.
It sounds like subtraction, like changing your environment by removing things. Maybe even people or old habits.
That's a huge part of it, but what if someone listening doesn't even know what their one thing is, what they want most?
Good question.
Well, then figuring that out. That becomes the absolute first task. You can't eliminate waste if you don't know the destination you're clearing the path for.
Okay, so define the goal first, then cut away everything else.
Ruthlessly. And here's where it connects to our next point. When you start cutting away those comforts, those easy habits, those maybe less than ideal friendships, that creates friction. It creates discomfort.
Yes, friction. And that discomfort, that pain,
Yeah.
that's actually the engine, isn't it? Let's talk about pain as a necessity.
Yeah, the core conflict here is really stark. The pain of hard work, the discipline, the loneliness, the effort, it's temporary. It might suck for an hour a day, maybe even a year.
But
the pain of quitting, of giving up, that lasts forever, that regret. It doesn't fade.
So temporary hurt is basically the price of admission.
For anything worthwhile, yes. Every success, everything meaningful, it's wrapped in that temporary pain. The only way you build real strength, mental, emotional, is by willingly stepping into those hard moments, not avoiding them.
So pain is actually the foundation.
It's the foundation of all strength. You can't get strong by lifting styrofoam. You need the resistance.
Okay, so if we accept that, how do we shift our view? How do we stop seeing pain as just a burden and start seeing it as a tool? How do we actively use it?
You turn it into fuel. It becomes your passport to the next level. It's the conditioning you need to handle bigger challenges, to sit at those higher tables in life or your career.
So instead of being crushed by it.
You learn to play it like a musician plays an instrument. You
Yeah.
master the feeling, the discomfort, instead of letting it master you. Use it to your advantage.
But we're wired for comfort, aren't we? When things get tough, the instinct is to seek ease. Like, that psychological cookie your mom gave you when you were upset. Or calling a friend just to vent and feel better immediately.
Absolutely. That instinct is strong. And look, physical recovery needs comfort, needs rest. That's different.
But the self-soothing just to avoid the mental toughness part, that's the danger zone.
That's the trap. Because real mental toughness isn't something you just dip into on a weekend workshop. It's a daily practice. It means retraining your brain to react differently when that friction hits, not run for the cookie jar.
Because every time we choose that immediate comfort over the necessary hard work, we're actually doing something kind of passive-aggressive to ourselves, specifically to our future self.
That's a powerful way to put it, yes. Think of your future self as someone depending on you right now.
Okay.
When you give in to the easy choice, hitting snooze, skipping the workout, avoiding that difficult conversation, eating the junk food, you're basically just kicking the can down the road. You're passing the burden onto future you.
And what does that burden look like for future me?
Yeah.
Is it just debt or something else?
Oh, it's much deeper than financial debt. It's lost opportunities. It's undeveloped skills. It's the emotional and psychological toll of knowing you could have been stronger, more prepared.
So future me looks back.
And wishes you just dealt with the temporary pain back then, because the regret they feel now, that pain is way, way heavier and lasts much longer. They'll see moments of, frankly, cowardice, decisions made from fear or laziness.
Oof. Okay, that lands. So that brings us to the action stage. How do we actually translate this philosophy into results?
Yeah.
What separates the people who just think about this stuff from those who actually achieve things?
It really boils down to one critical thing: belief.
Belief versus intent.
Exactly. Intent is just thinking about it, wargaming it, planning the perfect attack, but never leaving the bunker. Intent is safe.
And belief.
Belief is messy. It's action. It's often irreversible action. It's saying, okay, I don't have all the answers. This might get ugly, but I'm going for it. I'll figure it out along the way.
So one person with real belief, even if their plan isn't perfect,
Will absolutely demolish 100 people sitting around waiting for perfect conditions or the perfect plan. Belief means taking the risk, committing.
which means you have to accept that both success and failure are actually just processes, right? You're always in one process or the other.
Precisely. The question isn't, will I succeed? The question is, am I currently in the process of succeeding through my actions? Or am I by default in the process of failing because I'm not acting?
Because if you don't have your own plan,
You just become a cog in someone else's machine. You become part of their plan.
we get so misled by movies, don't we? Like the Rocky training montage.
Oh, totally. It
Well,
looks so heroic, lasts maybe 90 seconds on screen.
Yeah, cut to the triumphant music.
But in real life, that grind, that unseen effort when nobody's filming, nobody's cheering, that can last 5 years, 10 years. And you have absolutely zero guarantee the glory moment is coming.
It's like ordering an Uber every single morning and having no idea if it's actually going to show up or take you where you want to go.
That's a great analogy. That uncertainty, that period of just grinding, when no one sees it, no one cares, and you don't know the outcome, that's where character is built.
And there's this fascinating metric for effort mentioned in the sources. It's not about your best day, not the day you worked 18 hours and felt like a hero.
No, nobody cares about your peak performance day, really, where you win or lose the long game. It's on your bottom 100 worst working days.
Wow. The bottom 100. Explain that.
Those are the days you feel awful. You're tired, sick, distracted, maybe heartbroken, feeling totally broken, and yet you still showed up. You still did the work. Maybe not your best work, but you did something.
It's not about intensity then. It's about reliability, consistency under pressure.
Exactly. Those 100 days prove your commitment isn't just emotional based on feeling good. It's structural. It's who you are, even when it hurts. That's where the real wins happen.
And pushing through those days, that level of commitment that eventually leads you to face the pain of extreme ownership, doesn't it?
Yes. The moment you stop pointing fingers, you stop blaming circumstances or other people, and you look inward and face the really uncomfortable truth. This situation, my problems, they are. Well, they're all because of me.
That sounds incredibly painful.
It is. It's brutal to admit I messed this up or my lack of discipline created this outcome. But here's the paradox.
It's liberating.
Unbelievably liberating, because the instant you accept that you caused the problem, or at least your reaction to it did, you immediately gain the power to fix it.
Because if I caused it, I can uncause it. I have control.
Precisely. If I'm responsible for the mess, then I'm the only one who can truly clean it up. I'm not a victim of circumstance anymore. I can actually shape my destiny. Accepting that responsibility, it's a glorious, powerful feeling, even though it hurts initially.
Okay, so wrapping this all up,
Huh.
what's the key takeaway for you listening right now? Transformation, real change. It requires work when absolutely nobody cares.
Nobody
Yeah.
cared if you practiced that skill yesterday. Nobody cared if you went to the gym when you didn't want to. If you want to actually transform to become, legit in whatever you're pursuing.
Only one person has to care.
Yeah.
And that's you. You have to earn it for yourself.
And all that pain we talked about, the discomfort of the dark room, the friction of cutting things out, the exhaustion on those bottom 100 days, you have a choice. It can either be your prison, keeping you stuck.
Or it can be your passport.
Exactly. Your passport. Use it. Let it propel you forward into whatever your purpose is.
So let's leave you with this final thought. Consider the positive side, the really optimistic angle of realizing that truly nobody cares about you.
Yeah, it sounds negative, but think about it. The sooner you accept that almost everyone else is wrapped up in their own survival, their own goals, their own
And the
dramas,
sooner you are totally, completely free.
utterly free to be authentic, free to pursue your wildest ambitions, free to be brilliant without constantly looking over your shoulder, worrying about criticism or how people might react.
That fear of judgment, it just evaporates.
So the final question for you is this. What are you holding back on? What big move are you delaying? What necessary waste are you refusing to eliminate? Simply because you're worried about the opinions of people who, honestly, probably aren't even thinking about you.
You're already free. The work starts now.